What's going on? Welcome back. This video comes from YouTube, one of the news outlets over in Florida, Osceola, Florida. It's out like kind of close to Kissimmee. Those who've been to, Disney World and, Universal Studios, you know about it. I've been there a couple of times when I was in the Army. Yeah, it comes from out of an area where, this guy pretty much, he shot somebody over something very trivial while he was at work. Um, Yeah, imagine being so soft as far as your feelings and your ego and your emotions that somebody says something to you you don't like, you get in an argument at a job that you're already getting paid to be at for, say, roughly condiments that you don't pay for, that aren't coming out of your paycheck. Imagine getting in trouble for something like that, over something like that. All right. Now, this is pretty much what this guy did. He's soft, young guy, I think in his low 20s. He screwed his life up. And yeah, he pretty much threw his life away over some dumb shit. So let's get into it.
New tonight, people at a popular tourist spot in Osceola County running for their lives last night after deputies say a Checkers employee shot and killed a customer all over a fast food order. Good evening, I'm Greg Ormeth.
And I'm Martha Sigalski. We first told you on Eyewitness News at 4 that deputies arrested this man, Elijah McKee, for first-degree murder. This all happening in Old Town next to Fun Spot Casino.
Look at him. He's trying to look all hard. Like, he's trying to be hard for the camera, but, you about to go to prison for the rest of your life. You could have been doing anything else. Just do your job, go home. But now you just screwed up for the rest of your life.
Simi. Channel 9 Scott Martin is live after talking to people who were there. And Scott,
It's like I keep saying, like the culture these days, man, people are soft. You're quick to run to a gun. You're quick to, get in your emotions and your feelings versus, talk it out, use your brain, you know, think think better, think higher. People aren't as educated as we are back in the day. You know, people, the first thing they want to do, somebody says something to them, they feel like they're disrespected because they can't interpret what was being said. So they want to get upset. They want to get mad. They want to go grab a gun versus use their verbal skills.
this fast food joint is still a crime scene. Hard to believe this is all over an order.
That's crazy.
Martha, and that's exactly what people were telling me out here as well, but the crime scene tape still blocking off the drive-through area. In fact, I talked to one man who says that he had just grabbed dinner here at this Checkers before the shooting, and also workers here at some of the rides and amusement rides here tell me that people started running when they heard the gunshots.
Well, yeah, that's what you do when you
A
hear
Checkers
gunshots.
fast food location next to a tourist destination, now an active crime scene.
They keep saying tourist destination. They want to say Disney World because, it's lawsuit money, involved.
There were a whole bunch of cops here. Like, it was scary.
A crowded hotspot where Kelvin Lindsay says he picked up dinner Wednesday night at Checkers, later driving by to find the entire area full of law enforcement.
From every entrance, there was more cops. And I was sitting here like, where are all these officers? Why are they here? What are they doing? And then when we finally got up to this area, then this was a concentrated area where a lot of officers was at.
Osceola County deputies say.
Look at them. Usual suspects. Look at them. Young, black, just lost. Probably doesn't have a father figure. Father was probably never home. Raised by his mom. He's all emotional. Don't know what to do with his life. So he decides to throw it away over an argument about something that doesn't even come out of his paycheck. He doesn't even own, whatever the argument was about, the order. The guy paid for his order. The one he shot, apparently. So he decides to throw his life away just because he can't manage his emotions. That's what a lot of guys doing these days. They can't manage their own, it pisses me off. It's like there are so many other things you could have done prior to. I'm just throw my life away. I'm gonna shoot somebody.
An argument between this man, 23-year-old Elijah Mackey,
23 years old,
at Checkers, and a customer got into an argument over a food order.
So I guess the customer isn't always right then, according to this. Dumb Florida guy decides to shoot somebody just because he got in an argument.
That's when investigators say Mackey drew a gun and shot the customer.
It's just crazy. I mean, it's not that serious.
It's
you know what
not.
I'm saying?
It's
It
really
shouldn't
not.
be that serious to where you're getting into an argument and then you wind up taking somebody's life.
People working next to the Checkers tell me they heard gunshots and everyone started running. They shut everything down for the night.
Just thinking about it, I probably would have took off too. And I don't know where I would have took off to, but it's far. So yeah.
Mackey was taken into custody Thursday and faces a first-degree murder charge.
He's gonna face facing the rest of his life in prison. You were taking dicks up the booty, and we're going down on, you know, sucking all types of dicks just because he was dumb. He was soft. He wanted to, you know, act like he hard because he got a gun. He's like, I know there's a lot of guys, you know, they don't want to go fists. They don't want to go hands. They just automatically go to the guns because they soft. A lot of these guys are softer than baby shit these days. So he threw his life away. He's gonna be spending his cell getting railed by Bubba, Juanes, and Jeff in prison because he's a fucking dumbass.
People we talked to say there's growing gun violence that needs to stop.
People gotta change. Like, learn how to control your emotions. Like, it's not that serious. A lot of things can get escalated to that point because of misunderstandings.
The sheriff's office telling us that the victim in this case, his name is Wesley Robertson. They say that he died from his injuries after being taken to the hospital. As for that suspect, he is in the Osceola County Jail tonight.
That's sad. This dude took a man's life because he doesn't know how to express his feelings without violence. But there's new details. Let's see what they are.
Some new details about a deadly shooting.
See, look at him. You try to post a picture, that picture ain't gonna fly in prison. They gonna have all types of ways. He gonna come out a girl. They about to have his way with him in prison.
At a Checkers restaurant in Kissimmee, a worker allegedly shot a customer after he complained about his order.
Yeah, the victim asked to speak to a manager just before he was shot. Fox 35's Stephanie Buffmonte is live at the restaurant with the latest. So, Stephanie, that suspect was in court today.
Yes, and those new shocking details were released today. According to a witness, this could have potentially been over a packet of mayo.
A packet of mayonnaise.
Now, one person is behind bars and another person is dead. And this happened in a busy area, as you can
That's
see,
sad.
right in Old Town, which is near Fun Spot.
The defendant will be held pursuant to Arthur at no bond.
23-year-old Elijah Mackey in an orange.
Look at him. He looks like a nerd. This guy should be programming computers. He should be in school right now doing college stuff, get an education, and becoming a lawyer, doing something more productive in his life. But what he decides to do is just go throw it away because he shot somebody, because he wanted to be hard. Oh, you got a whole bunch of hard things coming your way, my boy.
Jumpsuit and cuffs, making a first appearance in court Friday. He's charged with first-degree premeditated murder. Osceola County deputies say it was all over a fast food customer complaining about his meal. A witness said he was possibly asking for mayo packets. The arrest affidavit.
And the mayo packets are at no cost to the guy. Okay, you could, you know how many times people go to, fast food spots. I know I did it a couple of times. Yo, can I get some extra ketchup, extra mayonnaise, extra mustard? There's no issue. Oh, it's an extra charge. Okay, fine. I'll pay the charge. Some people like, McDonald's, they charge you extra. But like regular other stuff, it's like, can I get a couple extra? No problem. It's not coming out that person's paycheck. Shit, Mr. McDonald's or Mr. Checkers owns the mayo packets. It's not affecting the guy who shot him at all. So what was the deal? Just soft.
It says Wesley Robertson asked to speak with the manager several times after ordering from the front window at Checkers Wednesday night. Robertson.
See, another one. If white people decide to get up, rise up and start doing shit, the black people go, "Oh, it's racism! It's racism! We under attack." It's what always happens. And why? How it's gonna be all these marches going on. Oh, free so-and-so because, he was lost. He's confused. He grew up with he had a bad life growing up, a bad childhood. That's always the excuse. Always offended by everything, ashamed of nothing. It's just crazy these days.
Asked to speak with the manager several times after ordering from the front window at Checkers Wednesday night. Deputies say that's when Mackey climbed out of a drive-through window, walked around.
So this motherfucker climbed out this window right here just to go around, just to shoot somebody.
The side of the building and started arguing with Robertson. According to an arrest report, that's when Robertson used derogatory language to insult Mackey, and in response, Mackey pulled a gun out of his waistband and shot Robertson in the chest.
Dude is soft. Somebody called him a bad name, and he got so in his feelings he had to shoot somebody. Man, this generation is just terrible.
He fell headfirst into the building. The employee ran toward the slingshot ride and then to Celebration Suites nearby. We spoke with people staying there.
Can you imagine? You're just like, oh, let's go to Checkers. I want, a hamburger meal or whatever it is. And next thing you know, you're gone. I mean, how does that happen? It's sad. It's really sad.
Soft generation.
You can never voice your opinion, because somebody's going to pull a gun.
Former Orlando Police Chief Orlando Rolone weighing in.
Obviously, this individual will have their day in court, but based on the information that we have seen so far, it'll be very, very difficult for them.
That's crazy, too, because that's Florida, so they got the death penalty over there, especially a premeditated murder. And if they don't, like I say, if he gets life, one of only two options he has, like I say, he's going to be taking dick up the ass for the rest of his life.
To defend their actions, and it's unfortunate because it could have been avoided.
He says it's important to talk to your kids about controlling their emotions and lead by example.
It takes a much bigger person to basically step away from a situation like that. Be that person. Don't allow for someone to bring you down.
It doesn't even take a bigger person. It's just like, oh, I see what you're trying to do. You got it. You got it. Just walk away. If they do something to you, it's assault. Don't fight back. Granted, if something happens, they're picking on you, you throw a swing, you fire back. But anybody try to pull out a weapon, you got it. It's no point. There's no point. There's cameras around. There's video be taken, everywhere. So, you're going to get caught. I don't know why people still think they could just do this and nothing's going to happen to them. I never understood that. People are so stupid these days, especially these younger generation, these Gen Zs and Gen Ys or whatever. They're so stupid. And like I said, this young man threw his life away because he got called names. He got to his feelings.
Or take you on a path that you will regret later.
Now, the Checkers was closed yesterday. It is open right now. We reached out to Checkers for comment, but haven't heard back. Reporting in Kissimmee, Stephanie Buffmonte, Fox 35.
Yeah, just another dumbass, another day. Usual suspects, don't know how to manage his emotions. Like I said, that's why I'm all for the nuclear family. Father, mother, on down, children. We got to get back to that because shit's like this is going to keep happening until we do. But that's my thoughts. That's my opinion on it. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Give me a thumbs up. I'll catch you next video. Peace.